Afternoon, y'all. This is a collector on the corner, and I'm gonna do a video on a $1,000 Chevrolet truck. What this is, I've owned this little truck 20 years, right at it. It's a 67 long bed, small back glass, half ton. It's a roller. You look under the hood here, there's no engine, no transmission.
Wow, there's nothing.
But it's got all the wiring harness, not been chopped or tore up. All that's in it, all this in it. There's even the horn still there. There's the alternator wires. They're all there, not cut off. Still got the radiator in it. Still got the heater core. Still got the shift levers and the bell housing and the clutch linkage.
Okie dokie.
But it's not been parted and cannibalized. It's going to need a lot of work. Windshield busted.
I'll say.
It's got some rust under it on the inner fender and right here on this hip fender from the battery.
Yes, it does.
It's got a little bit of rust right here in the rocker. A little bit of rust right here in the cab corner. But inside, that's got a little rust right there. But all this will need to fix that cab is outer rockers and cab corners on both sides. The floor support, the floor and the cab supports and all that's good. That's all good on it. Got a lot of dents on it.
Yep.
Some of the chrome's missing.
Yep.
There's a fan for it. It was originally a 283 V8 3-speed truck. And I don't know if you can read this or not, but right there, that says Donovan, Missouri. That's one of them dealer installed rear bumpers, so I believe this truck was sold new in Donovan, Missouri. I think David got that.
Yes, I think I got it.
It's got a dent here in the quarter panel. There's a dent in the quarter panel. Been bondoed back here too.
Yep.
And this cab corner got a little slide mount rust in it right under there. Rocker, a little worse than the other.
Yep.
But same way on this side. The cab floor and the body supports are good. And I do have a good, clear Arkansas title in it. There's nothing been took out of this thing except the ignition switch and the lighter. It was radio delete. But right there, the wires ain't been cut. There's just ignition switch been pulled out of it. That was before I got somebody put an extra horn on it. There's 3-speed on the car.
Oh, 3 in the tree.
All the dash and everything's there, the old dash pad, just like all of them. The doors have been changed on the truck. Somebody's put different doors on it.
Different color.
But there she is, she's 67. 67 was the only year of these trucks that had the small back glass and the wood floor in the bed. Don't got no marker lights on the fenders. But somebody could, if they wanted to, put an engine and transmission in this truck, fix the brakes. You know, it's been sitting 20 years. It's going to need brake work.
Yep.
Fix the brakes and drive it. And there's been a little bondo on this hood here. You can see that. It's been there. That was that way when I bought it. And the truck did run when I got it. Somebody had put a great big 292 out of a big truck in it. And I pulled that out. And I was always going to put a 250 or 283 or something in it. And I never did. And I don't know, we took the 3-speed transmission out and put it in something else. But we haven't been selling parts off of it. And there's a dent in the door there. But I think it's a viable project. I want $1,000 for the little truck. And that's what it'll take to buy it. It'll take 10 $100 bills to drive a truck. And it'll be real easy to get to. It's right here up front. nothing in front of it or around it. We can put it right up on the trailer and just go off down
right
the road.
out the gate.
But anyway, I got a little bit of a story. Back when I was in high school, there was this old boy showed up. Nathan Robert. And he acted like he was a little bit goofy, retarded or something. Anyway, and teacher Mr. Ledbetter, he was our teacher in first period history class. He was in that history class. First day he shows up, he said, I want all the guys to call me Ace and all the girls to call me Stud. And
sure that you're not talking about yourself?
No, that's all. Anyway, he shows up the next week and he's made this T-shirt that says Bomb Sydney Falls.
Bomb Sydney Falls?
Yeah.
Okay, bomb.
Bomb Sydney Falls. And the teacher said, well, why do you want to bomb Sydney Falls? He said, well, they're bombing Vietnam. They just, bomb Sydney Falls. Well, where's Sydney Falls at? So he gets down the map. He shows us right where Sydney Falls at. It's someplace over on the African continent. And he'd come up here and he was living with old C.A. Dean. I don't know, come from Texas. And when I first noticed there's an old 57 Plymouth car there. And it was sitting there, an old flathead 6 automatic car sitting there. That was his car. And the transmission went out or something, he quit running. And old C.A. Dean was wallpapering inside his house, and Robert wallpapered the outside of his car.
I don't blame him.
He was an artist.
Sounds like it.
But he'd draw pictures, and he was a natural artist, but he'd draw them, and everything would be like these characters that you see these political cartoonists draw. Somebody's, it looked like them. You could tell who it was.
Mm-hmm.
But he became immensely popular, and he had a bicycle, and he'd ride this bicycle to school. And somebody told me that when school ended that term that he was going to ride his bicycle to Texas, and he got hit by a car or something. And I never did hear no more about that old boy. And I just kind of wondered, if anybody ever knows where Robert Lowry is, I'd like to know. He was one of them characters that he became immensely popular. Everybody knew who Robert was and all that stuff.
I did.
But anyway, one day I was looking at them scissors that got in there. And that's what I hadn't thought of him in years, 50 years. And I was looking at them scissors. There was one pair of them little scissors I got at the auction was pinking shears.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at them pinking shears, and I remember that one day he jumped up in the middle of class and said, I'm going to tell a dirty joke.
Yeah.
And there was some girl there had her home ec stuff laying there. They back in them days, them girls made dresses and this and that and home ec. And he grabbed up her pinking shears, and he held them pinking shears up. And he said, do you know what they call somebody that's been circumcised with a set of pinking shears? They call them a rinky-dink.
Rinky-dink, oh, jeepers.
And when I seen them pinking shears, that reminded me. I hadn't thought of him in 50 years, But anyway, that's just one of them things, how something will trigger a memory, Anyway, But he was a laughing minute. And get to thinking about it, he was pretty smart. He played dumb and all that. But Mr. Ledbetter was on to him because one day Mr. Ledbetter said, Robert, you might pull the wool over and fool most people, but you ain't fooling me one bit. Anyway, so that's the Robert Lowry story. He might still be around. I don't know. But he went to Texas. But he'd make old man Dean up there. He was an old guy, and he'd make old C.A. Dean about pull his hair out. And he was always going
There's-
on about that
There's
boy.
my girls.
He knew how to pull his chain, you know, yank on his chain.
I like to
But
jerk
that's
on
about
yours.
all of it. And anyway, we're gonna Debbie's putting a ad on Facebook for this old truck tote. What it is, we live on Social Security and we're starting to run out of money before we run out of month.
Yep.
And this is one I don't plan on doing anything with, you know. Yeah. You know, I just wouldn't sell no parts off of it because, you know, people want to buy different stuff off of it, you know.
Yep.
But I wouldn't sell no parts of it because it got a good title. It could be fixed up and driven again, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's well worth $1,000, and if I can't sell it, I'll pull it around back, and it can sit back there for another 20 years.
Jeepers.
Well, that'll be all. Goodbye and good luck to y'all.
Thank y'all, and please like and subscribe. Bye.